I want to say the comments on the little sheet that you give me afterwards, I'd love as many critiques as you can think of. I, of course, always like positives also. And great, you're taping me, I was hoping. First of all, I want to ask, how many of you have already completed your competent leader manual? I think there's 4 or 5 of us here. BJ, you have, right? Okay, and that leaves 5 of us who haven't. So perfect, there's one person to help each of the neophytes. I am not a neophyte when it comes to being up in front of groups. However, there are a ton of things I need to learn about being up in front of groups. There's 3 things I'm going to talk about today, 3 important things about working through a Toastmaster manual. One is, don't rush. I went through the Competent Leader Manual like I was trying to get everything checked off. And I'm really sorry now. I wish I had gone through more slowly and enjoyed the process more. The other thing is that you should make sure you're reading all the information for each project. Again, I often quick look at the goals, look at what kind of speech it's supposed to be, put it together, and don't do all the prep I'm supposed to. And the third one is work with your mentor. Officially, your mentor only needs to work with you on speeches 1 through 3 in your Competent Communicator Manual. But your mentor, plus all the other members of the club, are people you can call and ask questions of, send an email. You know, I know you've completed your Competent Leader Manual. What did you do for this? So there's a lot of, plus people you know outside of Toastmasters can be wonderful resources for you. One of the ways I made this manual fun was I made myself a color-coded chart of how to complete this. Some of the pieces get very confusing. I have a handout I'm going to give you so you don't have to remember any of this. But for instance, on Project 1, it says there are 4 roles that you can choose from. You need to do 3 of them. And the roles are being an odd counter, being a speech evaluator, being a grammarian, being a table topics speaker. So for instance, Lenny, you could be getting one of your projects in your Competent Leader Manual taken care of today because you're being an author counter. However, you need to have asked someone at the table to evaluate you on how you did. So it takes some planning and some organization to get through. It's actually fairly easy to get through. But there are a lot, it's not like just doing 10 speeches like in the Competent Communicator. There's probably 25 little checks you have to do. But most of them are easy ones, like doing a role at the meeting. Okay, so that's the 3 things. Read the manuals, read the whole project, work with a mentor, and use anyone that you want to be a resource for you, and don't rush through it. Now I'm going to hand out some stuff I put together since I figured most of you wouldn't have your manual with you today. And I'd like you to flip to the first project, which says CL Project 1, and it's got page 11 on it. And you'll see where it talks about the 4 possible things you can do. And then right under your assignment, it says any 3 of the 4 roles listed. If you turn the page, you've got, this is Project 3, and it'll again list the roles you can do. It says you must develop these skills by serving in the 3 roles listed above. So it doesn't give you choices, you have to do all 3. Now right on the right-hand bottom side, it says note, if you perform 2 or more of these roles during one meeting, only one of the roles may be used to satisfy the project's requirement. So Greg is doing 3 roles or 4 roles today in the meeting. He could only use one of those towards his competent leader. Now, another one that's sort of interesting, look at on the next page, which is CL Project 10. And you'll see that these are a little bit different. You can be a contest chairman, you can be a public relations officer, you can chair a speech contest, a special event, you can edit the newsletter. So those are things that you might want to decide ahead of time what's something you're interested in that you might want to volunteer for, and it can count towards your competent leader. Now we'll go back to the spreadsheet that I made. I can email this to anybody, or we can post it on our web. And what I did was I put a check mark when I had done one of the tasks in a project. And in the book, the color code is the green is when I finished it, and down at the bottom, the blue was when I had completed all the tasks I needed for that project. So I could very quickly look and see when I had finished, or that I had finished the whole project. The other thing is there are one or two things in this book that are they are more time consuming or take more planning to get done. You don't have to wait till you've done your 10 speeches to start on this. It's a good idea to start now because you can get a few taken care of here and there. And the trick is to sort of be working in both manuals at the same time. That can get sort of overwhelming. So it's nice to just take one piece at a time. I'm going to pass this around. Remember, only 3 things to remember. Don't rush. Read the manuals. Don't just pick out the quick things that you need them. And take advantage of mentors and other members in the club. How many of you are going to now get out your competent leader manual? Yeah. Yes, good, I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to pass this around. Thank you.
Completed my CL in the 18 months. Please give her a review. As Sarah said, she wants a lot of comments if we can. I'll give you about 80 seconds to do that.